Hello, you're back. Where you been? You have a good weekend? You have a good week? You all safe? You all well? Good. I always ask that, even when I was a cab driver. You good? You safe? You been well? Good. Never change. We're saying the same thing for 40 years, every day. Have a good day? G'day, mate. How you going? We're down under, Sydney, Australia. We're here to answer Theo Hayez questions. All the YouTube questions and all the Twitter and all the Snapchats and everybody's questions I've been receiving in the last 3 days. 3 days. Right. A couple of stupid ads that have come in, and what's this one? What's this? Thank you. Oh, I was telling Vodafone why I left using Vodafone. Right. Sorry. I wonder what's this all about. Yeah, I used Vodafone for about 3 days and I gave them up. They were just too expensive. They used to be a great mobile phone carrier once and no longer. They just got too expensive. I'm going to give a plug here. Amazim, AMAYSIM in Australia. Amazim. It's under the Optus network. Amazing. Can I get sponsored by you, Amazim? I found with them I get a $20 a deal for a month, unlimited calls, texts, international phone calls for free, international all around the world for $20 a month, unlimited, and 64 gigabytes of data. So, but hey, Amazon hasn't offered to sponsor me yet. So Amazon, give you a plug, right? Okay. Now let's get on there to the. So if you come out to Australia, make sure you bring your open phone or an Optus connection phone, right? A phone that can take Optus. Optus, I find, is too dear. Telstra is way too dear. Vodafone's off the planet, and Amazon's just unbelievable. So, and I'm the biggest critic there is. Okay, let's read these comments. 2 hours ago, Katrina, good work, thumbs up. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you very much. Thank you, Katrina. Just found Todd chart, just uploaded. And then she gave me another thumbs up. All right, thank you everybody for supporting me. I'm in Sydney. I travelled 900 kilometres. My experience living there as a homeless and a surfie, it just didn't make sense. Locals know more logic, local movements than police educated in academies, but practice makes perfect. When you drive a cab at Byron Bay, live in a motorhome on the street in Byron Bay, do research for governments on water, tourism, and talk to locals. Locals don't tell police as much as a cab driver. Think I've heard and seen, witnessed, what I've seen, witnessed, and heard would blow your mind away. Right? I'm open-minded. That's the key. Well, you work that out yourself. I got 2 thumbs up on that. Channel 9 is saying car park. Channel 9 is saying you come out of the car park. Wrong. Police say he tried to climb the rocks, so why leave his phone on the beach? You wouldn't. That was my comment, right? Police are saying he tried to climb the rocks and he fell in. Well, if he was going to climb the rocks and walk around the headland, why would he leave his phone on the beach? Because Ken Gamble said his phone ticked there at 12 o'clock lunchtime. You're not going to walk down the beach and leave your phone on the beach and walk away. No, you can put it in your pocket. So then if you fell in the water, it's going to get wet, it's going to short out. So then if his body gets washed up on the side of a rock for 12 hours, it's still going to be wet because his pants are wet. And it ain't going to turn itself back on again. So they had to turn on it at lunchtime. Right? Because you got to dry the phone out. You got to put it in a thing of rice and let the rice pull the water out of it. We're not stupid. I better go teach New South Wales Police some facts. Right, Billy Kay 3 days ago. Got 3 thumbs up on this one. Great study you did. I lived near Byron Bay when this happened. At first I suspected foul play. Hadn't thought about this scenario. He could have just walked down to the water and a big shore wave swept him out. Condolences, rest in peace to the family. Condolences to the Theo's family, RIP. 3 things, right? And that's by Billy Kay, whoever Billy Kay is. Now, the next one is by a lady. Now, Theo was a boy, and we all know there's a difference in a woman's way of thinking where she would go and where a male would go. Think about the Romans. You ever see the women go up there on the back of the things and go into battle? No, the women stayed at home with the young boys and the young girls, and the men went off to fight. So just, not being racist, but just you get the drift. Amber, thank you, Amber. I won't say your last name. Lived in Byron Bay during my uni days. It's so strange. He went to tell us it's definitely the most deserted beach in Byron Bay. I wouldn't think to go there at night, but maybe if I had been drinking with people and I was going along with them, I would. You're a girl. He's a boy. See, girls got to think, this is what you got to realize. Women think about rape. Let's be honest about it, right? They're going to think about rape and bad man jumping out of the bushes, right? Women are more scared to go down a dark trail than men. Men will walk, oh, you'll go down, I'll get you. What? So no disrespect, right? No disrespect, Amber. This is a woman's point of view. But being a young guy, 18 years old, he can run like hell. Go along, and then I would. That's right. Because Amber was saying if she went down there with a group of people, she would walk down there. Because she's had a couple of drinks. It's also the mentality of Byron Bay in the triangle, which is there's parallel lines in the planet. How do you think a homing pigeon gets home back to its roost? We used to have homing pigeons when I was a kid, and we used to send them 600-800 miles away in a truck. And I let them go, and the homing pigeons will find it right home, right away, bang, right back to the coop, land on the door. How do homing pigeons know how to get home? Because those I can't think of the name. The lines that go around the planet, right? The power lines. I call them the power lines, right? Magnetic fields. Now, when you go and look them up, there's one goes right through Byron Bay Headland. Another one goes right across it. I learned that 20 years ago because I watched a documentary on it in my little 12-volt colour TV while sitting in my motorhome at Byron Bay. And I went, wow, man, there's one here right through Byron Bay. That's why I remembered it as magnetic field lines. They go right around the planet. You see the planet, the Earth, and they've got the lines go round and round and round and round, look like an egg whisk. Anyway, let's get back on the story. Maybe if I had a few drinks and people that are going along with me, I would. That is the kind of vibe. So there we go. Bermuda Triangle of the town. It's go with the flow. So I think that's the best guess there is. Best guess is there was third-party involvement. Sympathies to Theo's family. 3 thumbs up. Good one. Now she said, listen to Goose. Best guess. Is there third-party involvement? Is there? She didn't say there was. She's asking a question. Is there third-party involvement? Now, this is a great one. And Werda, thank you very much, Werda. Favoreel, Favoreel. He's got 3 subscribers on his channel. He's over there in Belgium. Now, I asked a question. Thank you, Werda. You are one person that listened in that whole YouTube. You used your ears and you listened. You didn't hear it. You listened. Thank you. You are the only person. Ding, ding. You got the jackpot, mate. You won the question, right? You won the first prize. Werda. I asked the question, what is the alcohol age limit for drinking alcohol in Belgium and what strength is the beer in Belgium? Can anybody in Belgium tell me? It's quote word for word. It's on the video. 500 people watched it and only Werda answered the question. Thank you, Werda. You're a hero, mate. You're a hero. Thank you. You know how hard it is for me to find out the strength of alcohol in Belgium and what the favourite beer is? How would I know? I'm over here. I'm halfway around the world. Thanks, mate. You're a top champ. Hope you like and subscribe to the channel. I really do. And I want to hear from you. Come on a live chat and say, hey, it's me. How you going? Right? I don't care how old you know. I don't care if you're 90 or 19. I don't care. I'm non-racist. I'm non-nothing. Right. Belgium is 16 years of age. That just chopped that one, didn't it? So Americans are thinking 21. Chopped you up like Colonel Klink and Hogan's Heroes. Chop, chop, chop. Right? We got Stella Artois. Stella Artois here. It's way stronger than the average Aussie beer. And I thought to myself, how does he know that? And I read what he said. Believe me, if he was drunk, it was from the goon before. Hang on, that's an Aussie term. I thought, how does he know about Aussie? But I don't think he was that drunk seeing the camera footage. And then he nails it. He said, I walked this trail as a fellow Belgian myself in December 2019. He went to Byron Bay and he drank a goon. What's a goon? All right, I'll tell you what a goon is. We have a wine cask. It's an Australian invention from South Australia. How much I know. It's a plastic bag in a cardboard box. It's got a little tiny plastic tap and you push the little button up and go and look it up. Australian wines in a cask. That's called a goon. 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 Goony bird. Because that's what you feel like after you drink one by yourself, right? A goon. Goony. What? You ever seen a goony bird try and take off? What? That's where it comes from. Goon. It's got a little button on it. You hold it above your head and it's a goon. Belgium myself in December 2019. I hope they find out soon or one day. And then there's one reply, and I wrote, thank you. So thank you again to Werda. Thank you, Werda. I'm still getting down there. There's Werda. Right, next one. Sam King. Thank you, Sam. Now, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Let Could be short for Samantha or Samuel. I don't know. 2 days ago, I'm with you. He went for a swim and got deep and swept away. Somebody else gave me a thumbs up on him. Gave him a thumbs up. They've seen the footage of the waves hitting up. Right where his clothes was, down between the two rocks, sucked out there like a vacuum cleaner. You know. Right? He's just gone. Now, let's go down and watch Bondi Surfers, right? Go down and watch the TV show Bondi, 2010. Backpackers Alley. Quote, go down and watch it, and they talk about Backpackers Alley over there in the right-hand corner of South Bondi. Ain't they saying? And the guy goes running down there. He's on the little motorbike, and he's got his surfboard on the side. And he paddles out there, and what's on the right-hand side on the south side of Bondi Beach? The rocks. And here's the backpackers. Hands up. They're gone. And they race all the way out there, South Bondi. Because that's where the water goes. I do water. That's what I do. I study. Railway bridges, railway lines, when they get disused. Then I said on the live stream, or on the train video, I was on the train video going north. Why do I do this disused railway lines, the water around the flood time? And this is what I do to prove a point. The flood waters come around the disused railway line. The railways aren't there anymore to clean away the drains, keep the grass out of the drains for the water to run away. You get pools of water. And here in Australia, we get mosquitoes. And we get what they call the Murray fever. Guess what was on my phone? Murray fever, Northern Rivers. I'll find it in a minute. I'll put it up and I'll prove it to you. Let's get back to Sam King. I'm with you. He went for a swim, got swept away. The VFAFO 2 days ago. VFA footy. 2 comments in your channel. What time did Theo wake up on the day? Well, I don't know. I wasn't in bed with him. Sorry. But I believe it was about 8 o'clock, which is the average 7 or 8 o'clock, which is the average time in King. You like that comment, didn't you? No, I wasn't in bed with him. Were you in bed with him? I wasn't in bed with him. Sorry. Just been a little bit funny. Inappropriate. I know. Sorry, but I couldn't resist. You know, I was in bed with him. He's not my type. You know, I'm not his type either. Well, God rest his soul. Love him. I'm quite sure Theo begun. I reckon he'd be laughing at that if he was there watching it. If he was standing right there, I reckon he'd be. He went in my bloody bed. I reckon he'd be laughing. I really do. I think he'd be laughing. Got swept away. Great. Love your passion investigation. You got a thumbs up in the comment. What time did Theo wake up on the day he went missing? Right. Same thing again. Interesting yarn. With a yarn, Y-A-R-N, is a conversation. It's not being derogative of my conversation. Right? It is a yarn. We say in Australia, slang is the conversation. Right? It's a story. It's not a story as in being impolite. It's a story of we all put things together and we're analysing. It's like a police investigation. That's a yarn. Right? That sort of yarn. There's 2 different types of Australian yarn. The yarn is a big bad monster lives up the mountain and it'll come down at 10 o'clock and it'll eat you, right? That's a fairy tale yarn. The other yarn is it's like dream time. Aboriginals, Indigenous people have yarns. We call them yarns. They call it dream time. They tell you about how Hayez rock was formed and how the great rivers in Australia were formed by the whatever formed them, right? That's the dream time story. That's what we call yarn, right? So it's not been disrespectful. I love my Aboriginal friends. I used to go out with a beautiful, full black Indigenous Aboriginal woman. She was a lovely lady. And she came up there from Inverell. Lovely lady, beautiful lady. That's a decent rip. Now, this one, I really got to get the Murray head. You nailed it, son. You nailed it. Love it. Love it. Where's his clothes? Why wouldn't the company, the people he was with, some people might think company like a business company. Some people aren't. Not everybody in this planet has a high IQ like you and me, right? Some people are a bit thick, right? They just don't get it. The company he's in, there's an old expression, you are what you are by the company that you keep, not a business company like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, but the company that you keep. And people will reflect you on by the company that you keep. So if you hang around with a bunch of drug dealers or drug addicts, they're going to think you're a drug addict. Even though you don't touch drugs, you're going to be reflected by the company that you keep. That's just an example. Sorry, my asbestos is kicking up. Why wouldn't the company he's in not report it? Now, I covered that. And David, somebody just come up there. David, can you come on the live stream? David just popped up and disappeared again. Where's his clothes? Why wouldn't the company he's in not report it? Very simply, I'll say it again, but I don't want to kill my own story. You got to get in and watch it. That's why I went up there and I filmed all that. Theo walked out by himself. That's a fact. Theo walked up the end of Tennyson Road. That's a fact. Theo turned around and walked back down and cut across the park. That's a fact. But what we don't know is who Theo met with Tennyson Road and the other street, and it comes over a walkway bridge. Did someone come out there, another bunch of backpackers, a deviant, an evil person, a bunch of girls? My son's own cousin, through my second marriage, turned around and said he was up there going out with his cousin. Now, I've yet to talk to that cousin, but that was 2 days before, which is irrelevant to the fact in the day of question. Because 2 days ago, I was sitting in Ballina, and 2 days ago, 2 days later, I'm back down here. So it's irrelevant, right? But with Theo going out being a good little 18-year-old, got the testosterone up, hey, let's go party. I just was in Australia. I like the girls in Australia. They talk funny. They talk, well, g'day, mate. How you going? Right. No, the girls in Australia love it. And of course, let's all admit it. Theo was a bloody good-looking 18-year-old kid. Blonde hair, blue eyes, brown eyes, clean-shaven, not like an old deadbeat like me, wears rags and Christ knows what. But that's my passadio. That's my passadio. You know what a passadio is? It's when I go out, I don't want people realizing. I don't want people knowing I'm Mr. Hominoid. I don't want people knowing what I own, where I got, and what I look. I don't go out wearing gold watches. I could go and wear a great big gold watch worth several $1,000s. I don't. It's not part of my. Look, you see any gold watch marks? No. Do I wear a gold chain? No. Am I like Mr. Beast who walks around wearing gold watches and chains? No, I don't. Actually, I don't even know if he wears them. Because it's the quickest way of getting mugged. When you get to my age, it's your passadio, like a facade on the front of the building. It's what you project onto the street. Facade, passadio, right? That's what I said. Now, if you want to catch me out, go down and look at Byron Bay solar powered train, fun with Luke. And Luke laughs at me. He absolutely laughs at me. Go and listen to the offer that I gave Luke, and he doesn't believe it. He doesn't believe it. Get and watch it. Byron Bay solar powered train, fun with Luke. So then later on, I did the second one, not the first one. Luke's running away. No, that's the second one. Luke's not even there. This is 2 days later. 2 days before that. So it's further down the channel, and you see the railway lines. I think it's got the picture of railway lines on it. Having fun with Luke. Go down and look at that and see what I say. And that's what I said, the facsadio. And then you really listen to it. I let things slip. I should take it down, but I won't. Where's his clothes and why wouldn't the company keep? Right. Theo's gone up there, come back. If he's come out there with somebody, he's come out on the beach trail, he's walked straight up the beach. Now, when I looked at that GPS walking trail, him walking up the beach, dead straight. What does that tell you in your mind? If he was walking with a bunch of people, what are people going to do when they're in a group? On sand. They're going to move down where it's harder, or they're going to move up. They're going to move around. Think about it. I've walked up the beach many times with people, and I've looked back, and you see our trail. It goes like that because we're not watching where we're going. We're too busy. Blah, 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 blah. Theo's by himself, I reckon. Because he walked a dead straight line. You think about it. You go for a walk down the beach with your friends. You go try it out this afternoon. You get a beach or a sandy riverbed. You get down there, you take 6 people. You start walking along the sand. And let's see how straight your track is. Because you're too busy. Blah, 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 blah. When you're by yourself, you've got full concentration in the brain. You're thinking, I'm going this way. That's how they call me Mr. Hominoid, right? You're going like this. You're walking a dead straight line. You've got people around you. You yap, 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 yap. Your GPS trail is going to be like this. So that's why I suspect Theo was all by himself. He's ditched the people he was with if he did meet up with people from Tennyson Road. I reckon he's worked out his phone was wrong and he's backtracked. Like I said, you get a phone, you can slide it. You can slide it up and down on the map. And when he slid it up and down on the map, he went, oh, bloody stupid thing. I didn't realise I'm that far up at Tennyson Road. I'm going to have to walk up over the headland. He doesn't want to go that way. Because all the other backpackers have said, we'll go across the flat, across the park. He walked right past it. You don't see it. It's midnight. It's 11:30 at night, exactly. 11:38 at night. Go and look at my video. I've got the camera filming out the left-hand side of the car, and it's between 2 little brick walls. And if you're watching your map, you're going to walk right past it, and he's going to go, oh no, there's a fence there. He walked past it. Then he's gone, oh shit, it's back there. So he's walked back. Quote my words on this live stream. Betcha. You go and Google it yourself. Tennyson Street, and you look for the footpath, how wide that gate is. If you're looking at a phone for 30 seconds, you're going to miss it because there's trees there as well. He's walked past it. He kept walking. He's got disorientated. Not from being drunk, not from being tired, but from looking at the phone. Then he said, oh, shit, got to go back. Then the GPS has put him walking down through the houses. No, look at it. You see the GPS where it goes up, it goes up. So it gets to the camera again. It goes up and he goes round to where the trail goes over the bridge this way, and then shows him chucking a U-turn, and the GPS won't run back over itself. It won't do that. I know I built the bloody things back in 1997 for the 2000 Olympic Games through SigTech Communications. SigTech, SigTech, right? Signal Technologies. GPS will not park itself on top of itself, right? It will go to the side. And that's why when you go down it, you'll see the houses. And it looks like Theo's walking through the houses. Go and have a look at it. It's on the 60 Minutes section. And they never picked it up. The great news reporter, who's married to the world-famous multi-millionaire, she didn't pick it up. See, they look, but they don't see. Dum-dums. Just because you got money doesn't mean you got brains. So he goes across the park, he's walked over there, and he's walked up the beach all by himself. And that's why he went up there. because he knew full well all the other backpackers said, no, mate, it's all right. It's a big wide trail. You can't miss it. It's clean. All this gunk about it being a dangerous trail is a load of crap. People have been walking in there for over 20 years. If it was so dangerous, why didn't the National Parks and Wildlife put a great big sign up saying, do not walk down this trail, people get murdered, massacred, or it's dangerous? Why didn't they put a sign up saying, this is a dangerous trail, do not use, and put up what they usually do and put logs across the trail and plant trees in it and get rid of it? Because that's what the National Parks and Wildlife do. I've seen them do it. They will get rid of a trail. They'll go in there and put up the ribbons and say, don't walk here, new bushes. And they'll plant trees in the trail to make them grow to get rid of it, because it becomes a dangerous thing, like a sexual stalker or a murderer or bad homeless people or drunks and alcoholics. And they'll turn into back into the forest or back into the flower bed or whatever, right? It's a big wide trail. It's quite wide. It's wider than a door frame, and that's why it's called a track. It's wider than a door frame. He walked in there by himself, quite cozy. I walked in there. I walked in there 20 years ago when I could walk. I wasn't scared. But his godfather, they're all scared of it because they're from Belgium. They're not Australian people. They're not Australian born, raised country people lived in Byron Bay. Now, let's, for example, I'm not being disrespectful to the family, but let's sum up the mental state of this family, Hayez's family. Their son's missing. They're upset. They're distraught. They've got the media, blah, 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 blah. One thing in one ear. Police in the other ear, blah, 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 blah. Right? Doesn't matter what they say. I'm not being nasty to police. I'm not being nasty to the media. Everybody's in their ear. And their brain is trying to process it. And they're worrying about their son. And they're trying to work out where their son is. It's all confusion. And the brain is trying to it's an overabundance of information. And they're trying to process it. I've been through it. It's horrific. My father disappeared for 3 years. I tried to find him. And everybody's telling me all these different things. I'm going, where's my old man? Where's my father? And I went to the police and they said, we can't tell you. We know where he is, but we can't tell you. Privacy Act. Stupid me was so worked up. I knew the answer. The electoral roll. Everybody's got to vote in this country. You're an Australian citizen, you go into the Electoral Office, and it's on a computer. It's free. You walk in there and you type in a name and it comes up with their address. Because it's not a privacy thing, because it's the electoral roll. And how do you think sales and marketing, how do you think private investigators find you? How do you think all these other people find you? They go to the Electoral Office. You want to go find your missing uncle and he's law-abiding and he still votes, or your auntie or your brother or your cousin, and you know they're going to vote, you go down to the Australian Federal Electoral Office. Type in their name. It comes up their whole name. John William Henry Harry Smith. Got him. Address. WA, South Australia, West Australia, New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, Tasmania. Told you. Right. Get up, stupid. Sorry. Back on to Theo. See, and you wonder how I investigate and I find out things. Now, you know, you are an Australian. You want to find another Australian. You know their full name. You go to the Australian Electoral Office. Everybody's got to vote. It is not a privacy thing. You can just walk in there. Computers outside the office. You don't need permission. Take a pen and paper with you. They even give you a pen and paper there at the counter, and you can write it all down. Right? That blew your mind. And you wonder how these debt collectors chase you. You lived in Queensland. You run away down to Victoria, and some debt collector, hey, mate, remember that car crash you had 8 years ago? You wonder how they found you? Because you changed your electoral roll. You might be at Auntie Sue's place, but you changed your address to Auntie Sue's place. That's how they found you. It's on the electoral roll. I never thought of that when I was, because I was all screwed up trying to find my father. Never thought about it. Love your passion and your investigation. Thank you. What time Theo wake up? Interesting yarn. That's a decent rip. That's right. Where's his clothes? Right. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Good job on the camera route, but. What's but? What's the but? Is it because of bouncing around? Mate, you try driving the camera on your chest, and you've got a guy sitting next to you who's got autism. You travelled 900 k's, and he keeps asking you questions, and he keeps wanting to talk. Not all the time. He's a great guy. I love you, Chris, because I know he's going to watch this. But he's got autism, right? What they call a I don't have autism. I'm going to be open here to the round of world. I'm going to be open to this. This is going to shock a lot of people. I actually have a single deficit syndrome. One thing at a time, one line at a time, and I stay focused. And you can't change me from it. You change me from it. You watch all my videos. Somebody says something in the background, dog walks in the room. I forgot where I was. Boom. But I'm also compulsive disorder. I like all my sockets. 10 mil, 11 mil, 12 mil, 13 mil, 14 mil, 15 mil, 16 mil, 17 mil, all in a line. You lose one socket out of my sockets that you don't bring it back, I'll get all those sockets and I'll put them in the bin. I'm going to buy a whole new packet. Right? I've got that sort of disorder. I can't stand it. Everything has got to line up. And that's why I do this, because I know it's got to make sense with my disorder. It doesn't make sense. Something's going to shoot my brain. It doesn't make sense. So answer the question, where is his clothes? I've already answered that question. It's in video Theo part 1 and part 2. Where's Theo's clothes? You'll watch it. 1 and 2. Where's his phone? 1 and 2. That's where it is. Yeah, I'm digging in the bait and you're going to go buy it and you're going to go watch it, because why should I tell you now and wreck my own video that I spent all that time making? I'm not going to give it away. Right. Now, let's see what else we got. Katrina, life is full of lessons and pain. Flash K. I am thinking Theo was disorientated. Now, what you hear this one? I'm thinking Theo was disorientated due to drugs or alcohol. Maybe someone gave him what he thought was an ecstasy tablet, but it turned out to be LSD. Who knows? He left Chicken Monkey thinking, all I have to do is go to Main Beach North and follow it to the left, west. Makes sense. Wait a minute. All I have to do is go to Main Beach North and follow it to the left, west, to get to Wake Up Hotel. Should be easy. Instead, he went in the wrong direction to Talos Beach east and followed it to the left, north, to get to Cozy Corner, which is a dead end. It doesn't make sense. If you're going to go to Cozy Corner, you're going to go east, not north. And tried to buy his way through the ocean, and that's that's non-suspicious version of what could have happened anyway. Then he wrote back, right? So that was Flash K. Now, I was talking to him on a live chat, and I said, no, that doesn't make sense. If he wanted to go back to the Wake Up, it would have been on his map on his phone. Now, let's do it right here and now. But that's not what Theo was doing. Because I used another computer I got. I zoomed on his picture screen. I put a filter on it, and I could see it. Show you exactly where Theo is. Yeah, I'm going to write in what's it, 55, well, let's say 55 Johnson Street, Byron Bay, to 52 Childy Street, Byron Bay, it's processing. Look at that stupid thing there to go down. I should put down 152. It doesn't matter. That's where he goes over the train tracks. And then he should have walked out here to go to Childy Street. Over the railway line. And that's where he is staying. Right out there at Belongil Beach. See, look. That there's Belongil Beach. Damn it. Right? And that's where you're staying. Belongil Beach. That's where you're staying. That's the street he was in. Childy. Childe. Childy Street. Tiki Monkey to there's 3.7 kilometres. That stupid American guy YouTuber said, why didn't he walk it in the 20 minutes that he should have walked it? This Mr. Murder Scene, Mr. Make a Thriller. And he said, I went to Byron Bay and all these people have been disappearing and murdered. I'm not even going to give the guy credit for his name. He's a jerk. No. Too much underneath the bed sheets of a night time, I reckon. That's what that one is. And he talks with this real sinister voice, you know. Mr. Goose. The guy's got thousands of followers. Suckers. You want to follow him? An idiot. Doesn't even know what he's talking about. 20 minutes from Cheeky Monkey to Childer Street Hostel. To 45 to 50 minute walk to Goose. I'll call him a goose on camera. Doesn't worry me one bit. He's an idiot. That's what I mean. By the family. Hayez family. All this shit's going around his head. All these people are giving all this false information. They're listening to the media. They're listening to YouTubers. They're listening to the newspapers. They're listening to news reporters in Belgium who've probably never even been out of the country. They've probably got news reporters fly into Byron Bay. Do they know anything? No. Are they going to do the same thing Theo did? Yeah. They're going to pull out a map and they're going to see that. That's all they're going to see. They're not going to get told any information. They're not going to get told why backpackers go there. They're not going to do like I did, title charts. Drove a cab in a local area, lived in a local area. People talk to me. My son's up there. His cousin's in Byron Bay. He's homeless. I'm down there in the grassroots. These news reporters flying from Belgium, or Sydney, or Melbourne, or Brisbane, and they run around with their little cameraman, making themselves look great on the TV set at home. You watch it and you eat your popcorn. Oh, well, that's right. She said so. I mean, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Very simple case. He walked up there, went in the car. Cheeky Monkey, 11:08, 12:03. Got out there to the beach. 12:08, say. He's about 6 metres in front of where I sat in front of the log. When I got home, I checked. I didn't have a TV set up there. So when I got home, I checked it where I was sitting on the log. what the GPS said, he was about 6 meters in front of me. I was pretty bloody damn close. And where I sit now, there's a little pan the camera around, and you look straight down. He walked right down there between the logs, went out the outgoing current. It was close. As I said, it's on Theo part 1 and 2. So you thought you were going to get out of me. No. And what's Theo part 1 and 2? I'll get a bird up there eating me dog biscuits. Sorry. See, single deficit syndrome. I got distracted. Anyway, for me, Mr. Hominoid, God bless the family, Mr. and Mrs. Hayez, and the rest of the family, the daughters, brothers, cousins, everybody else. By all means, Mr. Hayez, if you want to write me an email, Mr. Hominoid at YouTube, mrhominoid@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. And then I'll send you back a phone number and you can give me a ring or I'll give you a ring if there's anything I can do for you. Right? And I'll still keep my ear to the ground till the day I die. If I hear anything, Mr. Hayez, I will pass it on to you directly. Don't worry about all the other bullshit you got to go through, because I tell you now, if I tell the police, they won't pass it on. If I pass it on to an investigator, it won't get to you. So, Mr. Hayez, if you want it from me, if I hear something, I will personally ring you. I can ring internationally for nothing. It costs me nothing. I pay $20 a month. I can ring all in the world. So it doesn't worry me. And like I said, when I was up there in the filming, there's a set of car keys. I've already put a YouTube up and I said, found missing car keys at Cozy Corner. So I'm a very honest guy. I don't bullshit people. Proven it time and time again. There's my cab license. I showed that on camera, everything. Showed pictures of my bus I lived in. I travelled all the way around there. Right? So for me, Mr. Hominoid down under, God bless the Hayez family. Please go home. Try to get on with your life. Just, if you would, I'd really love an email from the Hayez family, not being a sicko, but a picture of Theo's face that I can print out and put in a wall and I'll put up there on the wall. I love to, because it's a story I've done. I feel like I know Theo, but I don't really. Right? I really do. If I could have a picture of Theo's, you know, I don't want one off the TV set of him coming off the security cameras. Just one of him sitting there somewhere in a happy time, happy memory time. Because I'll say, that's the guy I tried to find. That's just my own thing there to the Hayez family. If you can send me that, email it to hominoid, mrhominoid@gmail.com. Right? Get down and use a public library address. Use somebody else's email address if you want to. I don't care. I'd like to have a picture of Theo because I put a lot of time and effort in this, and I'd like to have a memory of Theo up on the wall and say, hey, I tried to help find that guy. I tried to help solve the mystery. And I'm not doing that for a plug for YouTube, because YouTube don't plug me. It's my own beneficial, right? It makes me feel good that I try to help you. That's all. Very simply. No scams. I'm not going to print T-shirts. I'm not promise you that. I'm not into that shit. I'm not into it. I could go and print T-shirts with Mr. Hominoid badge on it. I don't bother. I'm not desperate for the money like other people. Mr. Beast and all the other ones, or what's they call him? PewDiePie, whatever they call him, but all these other ones. Anyway, Mr. Hominoid down under, good luck, God bless. Get on with your life, move on. And I'm going to Bathurst on Sunday. Could have dropped that one in. Bathurst 1000, right? So if you like Bathurst 1000 Raceway, up Mount Panorama of Bathurst, and it goes up the side of a mountain, I'm going to be up there Sunday. Hopefully I'm going to be there. My legs let me. If my legs let me. So time for a cuppa. Yeah, I didn't even have a cup of coffee on the set. Nobody noticed that, did you? See? Got you again. See? You look, but you didn't see. I didn't have a cup of coffee. I usually have a cup of coffee. So goodbye from Mr. Hominoid from down under. God bless. mrhominoid@gmail.com. Or leave a comment in the bottom of this live stream after it uploads and gets cleared by YouTube. Thanks.